Hey, Stewart's Chapel, this is Don Pierson and Don Counts, and we're here at the museum, and this is Wednesday's devotion. Wednesday's devotion. We're done with Mike, whatever his last name is. We've dealt with the calling to salvation, the calling to sanctification, the calling to service, and the call to suffering. I'm going to stay with the S's just because that seems to maybe easier for you. It's definitely easier for me to remember. I want to deal with the calling to shout. The calling to shout. Man, there are so many passages on this one. But we're in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. Talking about believers. Peter says, but you are a chosen generation. That's us. A royal priesthood. A holy nation. His own special people. Well, what are we supposed to do? That we may proclaim or shout the praises of Him who called us out of darkness into His marvelous light, who once were not a people, but are now the people of God, who had obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Who had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. We are chosen, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, His special people, so that we may proclaim or shout the praises of what God done in His life. Every time, and it never fails, every time I talk with a group of individuals about the need for them to share their testimony, someone will say to me, I don't have a testimony. And I want to say, do you realize what you're saying? Do you realize that you're saying that you have nothing to shout about in relationship to what God has done in you? And that is not true. If you are a child of God, you are on shouting ground, and you need to be shouting the praises of what God has done for you. That is what it means to share your testimony, to shout His praises for what He's done for you. In all four of the Gospels and in Acts, we find what we call the Great Commission in various ways where God called His people and said to them, you will be my witnesses. You will shout. You will proclaim when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. We are called to shout to the world what God has done unto us. If you can't shout what God has done unto you, then it's probably because you're not very much aware of how much He has done for you. I challenge you to take a good look at what He has done for you. If that doesn't put you on shouting ground, then you probably need to start all over, my friend. Love you, Stewart's Chapel.